With more and more of this falling, which is a spectacular year for snow finally, you gotta wear boots. So I figured it'd be a good time to make a boot remover, something that we always had when we were growing up. We used to call it a boot taker offer. Yeah, that didn't sound very intelligent, but it's what we called it as kids. So let's head down to the basement and get started. So with all the snow we've been having, everyone's out there wearing the boots and all that stuff, and all it takes is just a simple little piece made out of wood to help make the task a little easier of removing your boots. We had it as kids. This thing is more than 50 years old. It takes hardly any money at all, just a piece of board and then a little bit of a 2x4 down here. So I'm going to be making two, because one of them my grandfather made, and it was a much simpler design. It was pretty much just a board with a V cut in it and with a little 2x4 at the bottom of it. My dad has it so it doesn't just come to a sharp V. He actually has it so it's a nice rounded bottom there for the boot. So alright, I'm going to go through my wood, see what we can find for this project. So I've got an old piece of iron board I'm going to make for this one. And then this, I just have a piece of junk wood. It was a clapboard at one point. So I'm just going to cut this up and make it so the simpler one. So let's get started here. I just need to square it off. I need to square it off. Let's just see what he has here. So it's about 21 inches. So just as a guide, okay, 22 inches would be fine. So I just need to cut off some, because it's a little rotted here. So I'm just going to go over here to the chop saw. Good fire starter. Okay, what'd I say, 22? We could actually make it a little shorter. No, we'll keep 22. Since this is tongue and groove, I'm going to have to rip this on my table saw. So this is doing that. We're just going to make it just come down to a V. So you need to find the center of the board. So this is roughly 6.5. So around 3 1/4. Is the midway point. So for learning purposes, 6.5 by 22. So we'll have this about an inch thick at the end. Now, these are just my numbers. You can make whatever number you want. I'm going to come down 7 inches. That's a better angle. Okay, so I'm still an inch from the edge, 22 inches long, 6.5. Just need to cut this down to the 7-inch mark. The easiest way for me, I'm just going to go ahead and use my jigsaw. You can tell this is old. It's a metal box. Now everything's plastic. Simple as that. And we can work on, you can round over the edges. So I'm going to need a piece, 6.5. I need a little 2x4 piece. Okay. So I'm just I need to make this a little narrower. I'll make it 3 inches. And since it's such a small piece, I don't have to use my table, so I can just rip it here. Use a smaller one. Now, for all intents and purposes, I'm just going to put this on as it is. Actually, you could skim it just so it's at an angle. And I'll show you what I mean. So if I just bolt it here, or if I just, it's going to always kind of rock, which is no big deal. So this is the easiest way to do it. I'm going to pre-drill and then put some screws in here. Gotta love tools. Now obviously back then they just used nails, but I'm doing screws. That's it. It's that simple. Let's see if it works. All right, maiden voyage. Effortlessly. All right, so this one's going to be a little wider. We're just using this as a template. Oh, I've got to get, okay, I got to square this up here. This looks like junk. This is a old Craftsman. And they were using steel. So for this I'm going to get the dust collection on. Okay, we'll do the same. We'll do 22 inches. This is a wide old barn board. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a good 22 inches on it, but I'll try. Nice fire starter. So this one's 7.5. So I have a lot of garbage on this piece of wood. This isn't a keeper, this is just a video board, because this thing's a piece of crap. Let's just skim it. I might as well make my bottom piece while I'm here. 7.5. I'm just going to try to split it. Perfect. Exactly the size that I needed. Alright, so this one actually comes down and it has a rounded bottom to it, as opposed to just having two angles come together and be sharp. So let's see what we can make out here. So it's roughly 1.5 inches in. Let's see how long. So he had it 8 inches. 8 inches down. Okay, so we need to find the center, so 7.5. It's 3 3/4. Made a circle. I'm going to come to the edge of it. Boy, this is hard to see. I used to have a red pencil. Oh, here we go. I got a red pencil just so I can see on this wood. If you use nice new pine or whatever, you're going to be able to see all your marks. But God, this thing is old as... very old. Alright, so again, I'm going to clamp it down. Just need to make the rounded part now. Let's go slow. So if we wanted to, we could make it look a little more sleek. You know, you can do whatever. You could round it to an end. Right now, since this thing is so, well, you know what? I'll do it. I will make it look better. Okay, so 3 3/4 is our centerpiece. You have to excuse the furnace, it's kicking on. It only kicks on for the hot water because I burn wood. We'll make that the 12 o'clock, 12 inch mark. So however you end up doing this, make it fun. Come down to 5 inches. I'm just going to have it come down straight. like I said, you can always just put this down, measure your angle here, and then just take that much off so it sits flat. So I'll try it with this one. I'm not going to measure because it's really not that critical. I'm just going to take a little off. That one brought it down just a little too low. So it was the right angle. Alright, so I just eyeballed it. So how I figured it out was I just rocked it like this and took a look and see this out. Without measuring and all that, put it here. Just got a chance to see what the gap was here until it met down to the bottom point, and then I just guessed. This one was the right angle, but I took off too much meat, so it made it a little too shallow. This way I just skimmed maybe half of it. And it's where I need to be. You don't always have to measure, and it doesn't matter anyways because it's for removing your boots. It's not critical. I'm just using 2-inch screws. You can use whatever. You can use nails. Make it simple. Let your kids do it. Carpentry is a good skill to have. Alright, let's do the boot test. Alright, I'm going to put my boots on so I can just take them right back off again. It's all about testing your product, making sure it works. Not bad. So that was 2 of these made in no time. Okay, so the only thing missing, the only thing missing is the other boot remover. Is having a hang hole. Doesn't have to be precise, but I do want it in the center. And you don't want just a teeny hole. I use my Forstner bit. And I will make it this size, which is 5/8. Okay. So for hardly any money, I made 2 boot removers. This one's not going to last long. This one is not one to give a gift. But you know what? They are good gifts to give people. People don't have this. Instead of having to get down, lug down when you have all your snow pants on, just use this thing. It's easy. It's easy and it's cheap. Not cheap, it's inexpensive, and it's something that you can make very easily. Kids can make it. So enjoy your boot remover, your boot taker offer, as we used to call it. And thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time.